What's up, everyone? Welcome to the July 25th edition of FanDuel Tournament Plays presented by Prize Picks. I'm your host, Adam Scherer. You can follow me on Twitter at ShipMyMoneyDFS. And as a reminder, use the code AWESOMO when you sign up and make a deposit at Prize Picks. You'll receive one free month of Stokastic Plus Platinum. When you sign up and make a deposit, you'll also receive a 100% deposit bonus up to $100 on that first deposit. We have an 11-game MLB slate tonight. As usual, we're going to take a look at three of the top tournament stacks and three of the top tournament pitchers using the top stacks tool and the top pitchers tool on the awesemo.com website. Sorry, stokastic.com website. You'd think I'd be used to that by now, but I'm not. Starting with the top three stacks. Number three, the San Francisco Giants taking on Tyler Gilbert tonight in Arizona. This is a tricky spot because the Giants, as anybody that's been playing MLB DFS all season knows, very frequently pinch hit. It's especially problematic when they're facing a left-handed starting pitcher because they're going to start most likely guys like Austin Slater and Darren Ruff. And then assuming a competitive game, they're going to pinch hit for them at the first chance they get with guys like Jock Peterson and Lamont Wade. But they're also very inexpensive, and it is a good matchup against Gilbert. The fact that they are likely to be pinch hit for later on in the game is factored into their projections, and they still look like good values here against Gilbert. The Giants have a 6% chance of being, an 8% chance of being the top scoring stack, 6% projected ownership, and also a 17% chance of being the top value stack. So far in a limited sample this year, Gilbert has only struck out 12.8% of hitters with a 5.41 xFIP. Number two, the Atlanta Braves taking on Ranger Suarez tonight in Philadelphia. Suarez has been a solid enough pitcher this year with a 3.98 xFIP, but he's also only struck out 18.8% of hitters. And now he's going up against a Braves team that has a ton of power, and they're going to be able to put the ball in play against him in Philadelphia, which is favorable for hitters. The Braves active roster has a 113 WRC plus and a 198 ISO. They're currently projected for about 5% ownership with an 8% chance of being the top scoring stack, but only a 1% chance of being the top value stack. And number one, the Houston Astros are taking on Adam Oller tonight in Oakland. It's a tough park to hit in. The weather isn't conducive for hitting as well. Those are the only two real negatives we can point to for the Astros, as Oller has no business pitching in the major leagues. He hasn't been good in the minors. He hasn't been good in his limited time in the majors, where he has only a 14.6% strikeout percentage and a 6.52 xFIP so far this season. The Astros, meanwhile, have a 119 WRC plus and a 196 ISO on their active roster. This is about as big as of a mismatch as you can get in a major league game in terms of talent between pitcher and opposing offense. Obviously, it's still baseball. There's still a ton of variance. Stuff can happen. It doesn't mean the Astros are a lock to be the highest scoring team or even do well, but there's a massive, massive gap in talent here, and it makes the Astros look very good. They're projected for 7% ownership with an 8% chance of being the top scoring stack and a 4% chance of being the top value stack. Now, before we take a look at the top three tournament pitchers, we do have a new promo code for viewers of these tournament videos. That promo code is AdamMLB. You can see it at the top of the screen. Use it. You get 50% off any weekly Stokastic Plus package. This is available for new users only, but if you haven't already signed up for Stokastic Plus, use this promo code. Get yourself 50% off any weekly package. It'll give you access to behind the paywall data, including the top stacks tool and the top pitchers tool that I reference in these videos. So again, 50% off Stokastic Plus weekly. Use the promo code AdamMLB at the top of the screen and take advantage of that offer. Now, looking at the top three tournament pitchers, number three, Aaron Ashby, $7,400 price tag. He's going to be popular as he's projected for about 20% ownership, but he has a 6% chance of being the top scoring pitcher in addition to a 7% chance of being the top value pitcher. Ashby is going to allow you to get pretty much whatever bats into your lineup that you want, and he has the highest strikeout percentage on the slate at 24.8%. He also has a respectable 3.76 xFIP. The Rockies outside of Coors Field this year have only struck out 21.7% of the time, but they also only have an 84 WRC plus. Number two, JT Brubaker. He's $8,700 taking on the Chicago Cubs tonight in Wrigley. It's supposed to be relatively cool with the wind lightly blowing in, so favorable pitching weather for Brubaker. He has a 23% strikeout percentage and a 4.14 xFIP so far this season. The Cubs active roster does have plenty of power with a 111 WRC plus, but they've also struck out 23.6% of the time. Brubaker's projected for 10% ownership with a 7% chance of being the top scoring pitcher and a 4% chance of being the top value pitcher. And number one, Tony Gonsolin taking on the Washington Nationals tonight Gonsolin is $10,200. He's only projected for 4% ownership with a 7% chance of being the top scoring pitcher and a 2% chance of being the top value pitcher. Gonsolin has struck out 24.2% of hitters, which is not great for his salary, but it is one of the highest strikeout percentages on this slate. And he has a favorable matchup, at least in terms of limiting production, against the Washington Nationals, who only have a 94 WRC plus this season. They have only struck out 19% of the time, but this is not a slate that sets up to have a lot of really high pitching scores because most of the pitchers are not very good. So the fact that Gonsolin has a relatively difficult strikeout matchup isn't quite as noticeable or as important as it would be on some other slates. So to recap, the top 3 tournament stacks: number 3, the San Francisco Giants; number 2, the Atlanta Braves; and number 1, the Houston Astros. And the top 3 tournament pitchers: number 3, Aaron Ashby; number 2, JT Brubaker; and number 1, Tony Gonsolin.